Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. I was scrolling through the comment section. I wanted to respond to two of these questions. One of the questions is, if you were going to load into one uranium stock now, would it be Baselode, Bannerman? Okay, you're saying the laggards. So what would be my top pick for buying a uranium company? Which ones would I be looking at? It's a really good question, and this is just my opinion, guys. I don't want to be held to the fire here. But I'm looking for the laggards. And, a Forum Energy Metals might be a pick by me because it hasn't really participated. They've got other things in the works as well, but it's an exploration company. But that's one that interests me, and I've been adding into already. Standard Uranium is cheap. But Baselode and Bannerman, if it was stuck to those two, I'd probably choose Baselode because we know they have something, and it could be massive. So that reduces the chance. It reduces a large unknown. We know they have something. It's something is there, and we know that 450 meters away, I think the company is 92E. I think that's what it's called. 92 Energy or 92E, something like that. They hit something across their border. They're bordering 92Es, and they're 450 meters apart, these holes. If they're interconnected, if this is one big deposit, I mean, my Lord, guys, this base load could have hit the mother load, or 92E could have hit the other end of the mother load. But I don't know how big it is. It's all speculation at this point, and it could be a very large deposit, very large. And if it is very large and it's very shallow, that means it's very easy to mine. I mean, you've got the best of all worlds here, and I can't tell you if it's going to work out. I don't know yet, but they'll get assays back. They'll probably drill more into this thing and better define what it is, and it could be a very big finding. It could be. Maybe it does. Maybe it's not. But if we know they have something, and they're priced very cheaply, I mean, I'm holding on to my shares. I'm not getting rid of them. I did overweight it pretty good, so I'm up. I got a very good price on it. Very good price. I was very happy with that, and I've bought it a few times in multiple accounts. And James has found quite a lot of stuff in that region, whether it's his abilities or just his luck, or the combination of both. Having great abilities gives you a lot more luck. I think it's probably the combination of both, having great abilities and luck. And if this thing's a huge find, it's not going to be priced anywhere near 70 million market cap. It's going to be priced much, much, much higher if it's a really big find. Now, the previous bull market, I'm just going to make up some numbers here, okay, guys? I'm going to make up numbers. Please don't hold me accountable to this, but I'm going to throw some numbers up, all right? And I know people, this could be completely off, all right? I'm just doing this for the heck of it. If, roughly speaking, let's say they can get 10% of the uranium price to just sell this. Let's say it's even a little bit more. Let's say it's an optimum to mine deposit, XYZ. It's a massive deposit. I'm just going to call it a big number, okay? And this is completely dependent upon what's down there, and we have no idea what's down there. So that's the disclaimer. But let's say it's a massive deposit, like a massive one. Let's say it's 500 million pounds. If it's 500 million pounds, and that's a massive deposit, okay? That's a big boy. And let's say uranium gets to $200, and they get 15% of that price. So it's times 0.15 times $200. That's a market cap of 15 billion. If the market cap's at 70 million, that's a 214 times your money from here. Now, we don't know what's down there. So let's say it's a 20 million, 20 million market or million deposit, and we go to 100, we go to $80. I'm just doing something, and we get 10%. That's 160 million if it's a smaller find of like 20 million pounds at $80 at 10%. So that would be a 2.28x from where we are today. But what if they hit something massive? What if it's that a massive, massive find where 92E connects with baselodes, and it's this 450 meter across gigantic uranium deposit? How many pounds is that? Not exactly sure. What is it valued at? Probably between 10 to 20% of the value of uranium. If it's a really easy to mine location, and if it's massive, maybe it's valued more towards the upper end of that premium. And I mean, the range could be massive here. We know something's down there. I just gave you two scenarios in there, and it's both higher than where we are today. I think it's, worth looking into. If you guys like Baselode and you like James and you like what he's doing, and you're excited about the find, I'm riding it. There's no way I would be selling right now. And he's also got a lot more potential on his projects than just that one. But that could be the first big one, the first big one that gets this whole thing rolling. So I'm sticking with them. I would be adding into. I wouldn't be selling. I would be adding into. So if I see weakness or whatnot, I'd put more money in. I mean, I put a pretty big stake in the beginning because I was like, and it was a very good price. I was very patient with my entry. I got very good pricing. So I'm very happy with that. Now, Bannerman's also one of the most undervalued on a dollars per pound basis in the ground. I do like the CEO, Brandon Monroe. I think he's an excellent guy. I think they've got good coverage on YouTube. They are a higher cost producer. They need a lot of capex to get that thing going. They're kind of the long shot, and I like that, especially when you're buying at a bottom and everybody's kind of discounted them. They sold them all off, so that's when I picked up my shares. Was when it was at a bottom. So I overweighted it, and I'm doing pretty well there. So that's another one that's one of my top performers and one of the ones that I really liked for a variety of reasons. So yeah, I would still buy Baselode, and I mean, if they've got something big down there, and you don't know until you know. We just know that they hit something. I'm betting on big. Screw it. I'll be optimistic. And there's other ones. I think there was another one question here that said, if I had to pick one, if there was any one, what would I look into in the uranium sector? And I mean, Forum Energy Metals is one that I still like. I think Deep Yellow, it seems like it's been underperforming the other African companies. That's another one that I would be looking into. So what have I done in my personal portfolio over the past couple of months? I bought Forum Energy Metals. I bought Standard Uranium. I bought Fission 3.0. I bought Forcis Metals when it pulled all the way back. I bought, there is another one that I bought. Come on. Well, that was before. I bought Laramide a little while back. It was still very cheap. I bought more in Fission a while back too. That's FCUUF. But mainly I've been buying the exploration companies because they haven't moved as much. I think if one of them, if one or two of these guys can find something with baseload, and they're all outside of the sandstone in Athabasca, that's where I'm really looking. Forum Energy Metals also has other metals that it's looking for. It's partnered with Rio Tinto. I think that's a really good company. It seems really solid to me. So I've been looking at these ones that are outside of the sandstone, and I've just been picking them off. and Pure Point Uranium too. I've got some in there. They've got some good joint ventures going on as well, and I own all of them. So I've been buying more of the exploration companies recently than I have of the developers. I wanted to beef up a little bit more of the Forces metals, and that's why I went in that. My last purchases before that were in Laramide, and that one seemed to be down. I also bought some before this move up, not this most recent one, but some weeks ago or months ago. I was buying Uranium Royalty Corporation too. I was adding into that multiple times, and then way before that, this was last year, I bought a lot in Encore Energy, Global Atomic, Deep Yellow, Baselode. What else did I buy a lot in? Goviax, Bannerman. That's where I made my original big positions, and then it's just been adding in. I've added in throughout the time frame. I had a little bit of UEC, a little bit of UU when it was down. I think it was like $4 or something like that. I don't know. I bought a bunch of stuff, kind of in small little increments, not like the original amounts. But that's what I would be buying now. Are those ones that the exploration companies. Now, if you're going to try to make large positions, I probably wouldn't do that in exploration companies. I would probably be looking at developers like the ones I just mentioned here that I put big positions on. I would probably still be looking at those. It's just difficult to say. I mean, we're trying to break this long-term uptrend. You can see it in URNM. If we can very easily come up and then come back down and stay in the channel for a while. Not that the timing really matters to me, but we could very easily also break out of that upper trend line, do a clear break, and then move on higher. So in all honesty, I haven't been adding a lot just now. I'm actually adding into silver companies right now. That's what I've been doing. And uranium is going to be a great move higher, and it's still of good value. But silver, I think, has some very good opportunities, and some of these have been beaten off the page, and nobody cares right now. They just don't care. They think everything's manipulated. They think everything's down. That it can't beat the manipulation. That the J.P. Morgan and all these banks are going to hold it down indefinitely, and I just don't think so. So I'm taking the opposite side of the bet, and that's where you make money, is when everyone is bearish. There's bearish sentiment. They don't think it's going to work. So what I'm actually doing is I'm buying exploration companies in silver, and I'm kind of sprinkling them all out. Right, that's what I'm doing going forward here. Because if they're still down there, I'm just going to sprinkle it out. I already own Discovery Silver. I own Metallic Minerals. I own Koya Silver. I own Impact Silver. I own Aftermath Silver. All these little ones that are kind of still way down there. I'm just going to pick some off. That's what I'm really doing. And the uranium guys, they're making big moves, and I just don't like chasing things. It's not in my DNA. So that's my opinion. Hopefully this gives you a good answer. And if you guys like this type of analysis, or if you like this type of opinion that I give you guys, put it in the comments section. Let me know if you still want to hear this stuff. Give me a thumbs up for the content. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.